Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing today? I'm Liza Wisner, and I'm so excited to be here with Megan Isasi. How's it going, Megan?
It's going. I'm getting ready for some rainy time weather.
Oh, I know. Okay, so part of my love for Corpus Christi is, first of all, I love the heat. You know how much I love the heat. But I also really like how when it rains and the rain comes, like there's this feeling that we get like after the rain, it's like the heat comes and like creates kind of like this. And I know some people might say that's
humidity.
Yeah, but there's just something in the air after that. It kind of cools it off and then it kind of feels kind of like fresh. And I really like that about living here in Corpus Christi.
Yep.
Adds a little bit of extra love to the atmosphere.
Yep.
But I'm excited today, Megan, because we're back with our fellow Islanders. I mean, I feel like we are bringing Islanders into all these sessions a lot. And, you know, me being a graduate of A&M Corpus Christi, it excites me that they have really resonated with the opportunity to come and give us information about how we can help our city employees learn better so they can get an education, right?
Yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today I'm very excited because Megan is going to be giving a presentation today. She has been preparing to tell you all about, I'm not even tell you what it is because it's a surprise, but I'm very excited because she debriefed me on what she was going to be sharing, and I felt it was so important that we needed to put it into this session with you today. So Megan, as you're getting ready to share your screen, do you want to share a little bit about what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, today we're going to talk about follow through and the things that are important to help you in following through on accomplishing your goals. And in this case, it's education.
All right. So let's go ahead. And Megan, I apologize. I'm going to ask if you can reshare, and then let's share you shared the speaker notes.
Okay.
You probably didn't even do anything different than you did before.
No, I didn't, which is so weird.
It's technology.
I know. Let's see. How about there?
We are good. Yay.
Okay, good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Liza Wisner, and I am your proud Human Capital Services Manager for the City of Corpus Christi. It is always a pleasure to come and bring you these amazing sessions where we try to tell you everything you need to know about your education assistance programs here at the City of Corpus Christi. Today, we have Megan Isasi, and Megan is taking it away, so I'm going to step back and let her continue with the rest of the presentation. See you soon.
Lisa. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be on. I'm always excited for Fridays. Honestly, you guys, I cannot wait for Fridays because it's probably the most human interaction I get all week. So I'm always super excited to be on here with Liza and to be on with our viewers. And I hope Iranda's out there watching. She's another one of our teammates. So I'm really excited to be with everyone today. I wish I could see all of you and say hi and give you those virtual hugs. But today we're going to be talking about education assistance and everything you need to know as a city employee and what benefits we offer to all of our city employees. And not only that, later on in this show, we're going to have Miss Maggie Gano from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and she's going to talk about recruitment and undergrad programs and everything about the island that you've always wanted to know about. Today, we're talking about follow through. And so it's so important that when we're talking about education, that you know the things that help you follow through to accomplish your goals. So have you ever found yourself in bed trying to go to sleep but can't because you're thinking about all the things you didn't get to do that day? This could be about work assignments. This could be about the new series you just started watching and haven't gotten to finish, or even that half listened to podcast you didn't get to finish. Why is it so hard to stop thinking about the things in our life that we haven't completed? Science refers to this as the Zeigarnik effect, aka the tendency to better remember unfinished tasks rather than the completed ones. When you start something but don't finish it, those thoughts of needing to finish haunt you. They haunt you at work, they haunt you in your sleep, they haunt you during family time. So why am I talking to you about this effect today? Well, unfinished tasks such as goals we still have, like obtaining your education, will intrude on your thoughts. They will take over your life if you allow them to. And so it's super important to know what kinds of tips and tricks that you can use to prevent this from happening to you, because we want that quality time with our family, right? We want to be able to live our lives freely without those kinds of distractions haunting us. And it's so important that as we go through these slides that we realize that not one size fits all, because we know that even in the midst of trying to figure this whole education thing out and trying to live our best lives, everything works differently for everybody else. So the Zeigarnik effect may not be applicable to you, but science says it does make sense. So one way to overcome this haunting effect in your mind is to begin by taking a step toward your goal, no matter how small.
Hey, Megan, I'm adding myself in because the chat is blowing up. And I really want to just tell you, you have so many people who are like, Iranda's over there saying, yes, it does. So she's agreeing with you. And then we have Sarita Nanas James. She's on there saying, so true. And we have Belinda, who is just saying, yes, me too, LOL. So Megan, you're doing an amazing job. And everybody is just resonating with what you're saying.
Yeah, when I started reading about this, it was so funny because I felt the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. Like, even when it comes to my homework, if I have not finished my homework by the weekend, yeah, I'm thinking about it and it haunts me, and I'm like trying to watch Netflix pleasantly, but I can't because in the back of my head, yeah, I know that I have these unfinished tasks that need to be done.
Yes.
So the Zeigarnik effect in your mind is to begin to take steps, even small steps, no matter how small. Once you've begun, not finished your work, but once you've begun, you'll find yourself thinking of the task until at least you finish it. So you might not finish it all at once, but each small step you take puts you closer to from where you started to where you are now. This simple method is not only going to help you motivate you to finish, but once you are finally done, think of all that free brain space you're going to have for other things. Think of all the guilt-free, free time you're going to be able to enjoy. Don't allow this effect to haunt you. Let it motivate you instead. So point number 2 for follow-through is mental contrasting. Now, before we dig deep into mental contrasting, you have to first know about creative visualization. And you may not have ever heard it as creative visualization before, but creative visualization is the process of putting together your visual mental imagery of what you're wanting to manifest. A lot of people say imagining your best life, right? We do this all the time. Think about our best lives as billionaires. We think about the car we'd buy. We think about that business we start. However, solely speaking, your best life won't be very far if you're only using creative visualization. Speaking it out loud and waiting only gets you inspired. So we need to go just a bit further beyond that creative visualization, beyond that dream, beyond the inspiration, in order to get these things to actually happen. And this is where mental contrasting comes into play. Mental contrasting is more realistic and solution-focused thinking processes where we prepare the mind to see both the good and the bad and choose our actions accordingly. So if you look at the slide, it gives us the formula. What it doesn't show you is everything right there in the plus sign. Everything in there is all the obstacles, all the challenges, all the hurdles, and everything you need to overcome to get to your dream. So science says that people who recognize that there will be challenges and hard work usually outperform those who only function inside the creative visualization realm. So when applying this to your education, see yourself walking the stage, think about the challenging journey it's going to be to get there, think about possible solutions to any of those obstacles, and in that moment, courage and inspiration comes to you, but you have to make sure to act on it. So it doesn't stop at dreaming. You got to go back and forth between dreaming and present reality.
And Megan, so Sarita says that that's very interesting. You must have both visualization and reality.
You do. You have to, because it's like I said, the science said that if you go back and forth between the visualization and the reality, then you're 10 times likely to outperform somebody who solely uses the creative visualization. And it's usually because the people who go back and forth between the reality and the dreaming, they're able to see everything in between the obstacles. You start mulling on your thoughts, right? So if I want to complete my education, man, it's going to be kind of hard. Maybe money's in the way, or maybe possibly I might not transfer all my credits over. But then you kind of start to think about the solutions. Okay, if I don't transfer all my credits over, it's okay. I'll take double classes one semester. If I don't have the money right now, it's okay. I have financial aid as a backup plan. So in your mind, you start making these obstacles not so much of an obstacle. And then at that point, you're ready to act. But it's super important that once you have gone back and forth between creative visualization and reality, and you're ready and you're inspired and you're motivated, that you actually follow through and act in that very moment. No matter what time of the day it is, call somebody who's going to be able to keep you accountable. And so our last point.
And Megan, I'm sorry, I have throwing in Iranda. She just mentioned that, and I love seeing this. So Iranda, welcome. We're so excited that you're here. And for those of y'all who don't know, Iranda is part of our team. She's, I call ourselves our Three Musketeers, and she is part of our Delta, and she is our human capital. Yeah, she is kind of like our human capital analyst, right? Taking my job title, adding it to hers. She's our HR analyst, but we're excited because she sees herself in California graduating from Ashford University. Can we just get some celebration right there? Let's get some instant celebration because I see it. I see it, Iranda, and I'm getting all emotional and all tingly being there with you in California as you walk the stage and graduate. It's going to be exciting, and I can totally see it happening. It's so exciting.
There we are. We're starting with that creative visualization, and that's where it starts, right? Yeah. And once it starts, you have to keep going. You got to move forward to that mental contrasting, and then even further on that necessity to act. So Iranda, we're here, we're your support system, and we're going to make sure that you get there. So don't stop that creative visualization. Let's come to reality, put in the hard work so that we can get to California. So our last point here is for follow through, is considering to stop saying your goals out loud. I know, it's crazy, right? In a world where we live to share, and post. I know for a fact that we all need support, and this is one way that we do it, sharing and posting. Oh, however, what I'm about to tell you is backed by science. Again, every time you make a goal or resolution and tell people about it, your brain permanently receives a reward that happens, and it happens in our brains when we get these rewards. Dopamine is starting to surge through your brain and through your body. And why is dopamine surging through your brain and your body? Because you've just posted your goal on Facebook and received 100 comments and 1,000 likes about how people are proud of you and excited for you and encouraging you. So then your mind and body feel so satisfied by that validation you're getting, and all it makes it seem like you've already accomplished something. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Everybody's cheering me on. Then your body says, wow, that felt good. And you start to convince yourself that maybe you don't have to start that goal today. Maybe you won't hit that goal as hard. Studies show that more positive feedback you receive in the beginning, before taking actions towards your goals, the less likely you are to follow through. So once you post on Facebook, once you tell somebody, and those great comments start coming back in, you see this little guy on one side, and all his friends are cheering him on, and there's the dopamine, it's going, and you're like, yes, I'm getting all these compliments, yes, I'm getting all these likes, all these comments, all these posts. And then all of a sudden, all that goes away, and you're like, well, I feel like I did something today, even though you really didn't do anything yet. You feel like you accomplished what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
This sense of, I did it, but you haven't even started yet. So you don't ever really make it to the other side of that bridge there, to where you're trying to fix the behaviors, to where all your goals actually are, because everybody gave you this warm, fuzzy feeling inside, and it made you feel like you kind of already did it. And so intention behavior focuses on making sure that, okay, let's maybe tell 1 or 2 people so they can be your support system, so they can be your group, your network that really keeps you going, so that you can actually really make it to the other side of that bridge where your goals are at. And instead of telling the whole world, getting all that great feedback, getting all that dopamine going to your brain, all the loves, all the feels, and where it makes you feel like you already did what you said you were going to do, but you really haven't. So maybe let's consider to follow through better by stop saying our goals out loud to the whole world, and instead picking and choosing a few people to tell them to, so that they can keep you accountable.
So
what do you think about that, Liza? Just
you know what, Megan? So first of all, Lloyda is cheering on our own Iranda, because we said that Iranda is going to be graduating, but now you just threw this slide in here, Megan, and now you're telling us that Iranda shouldn't have told us that she's going to graduate, because now she's probably feeling that Lloyda's putting for her, right? The all the cheers, and is that not going to be helpful? Like, what are you saying, Megan? What are you telling us?
I'm saying these group of people that are watching right now can be Iranda's support system.
Okay.
However, if we continue to post and post and post and share and share and share with the whole entire world, and everybody's like, woohoo, way to go, Iranda, you're gonna do it, and it's like compliment after compliment after compliment every single day, it is quite possible that we can get that sense of dopamine and satisfaction, and start to convince ourselves that maybe we don't need to hit the books as hard. Maybe I don't need to study today. Because you have that satisfied feeling of everybody, is warm and fuzzy, and they give you compliments and they're cheering me on. So it's
really scary, Megan. I guess I don't want to say I'm going to put my lab coat on, but I am. And what this sounds like is that your body has chemical reactions, and your body doesn't know whether it's real or not. So when you get those affirmations, your body may be feeling like we already did it, but our mind knows we didn't do it, but we've just created a rush of excitement, like you've graduated when you haven't even graduated.
Exactly.
So what you're doing is you're not helping yourself when you tell a whole bunch of people, right? So you can tell your core support group, so they can keep supporting you through it. But then in terms of you doing the work, don't let your body trick you into not working as hard as you need to do. So use your chemical reactions to help you, right? And and Megan, I'm glad you brought this up, because I always use that sense of fear to make me do things, right? So there's always that feeling of, can I do it? Will I do it? Oh my gosh, and I think maybe that's where you lose that when you tell people and they start to affirm you, and then you start to feel comfortable because you got recognized. And it's like, no, you need to still feel a little bit of fear, then you can't. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I do. I get it. I get it. I get that. And it makes sense the way you say that, and how that fear sometimes makes you work a little bit harder. Because you're so afraid that you don't want to fail. I know that for sure. I'm so afraid I don't want to fail that I'm working as hard as I can to make sure that I don't. So
let's unpack a few of the comments, and I know you want to move through, and we have a guest who's waiting behind the wings to come in, but these are really good comments. So Lloyda feels the opposite. She feels that if you put it out there, then she feels more pressure to do more. And you know why? Because Lloyda is the type of person who doesn't want to disappoint. So she's probably like, oh, I just told people I'm going to do this. So they're probably like, when is it coming? Lloyda, when is it coming? So so that's good, right? So there's that pressure. And then Iranda put, LOL, it makes sense to limit and have a support system. Yes, it truly does. But here's what Belinda says. Belinda says, Iranda, put out an intention to the universe that helps attract that. Right? So isn't that the point anyway, right? You just kind of like tell the universe what you're looking for, and you live through that thread, right? You live that. You see it and you live that.
I think it goes back to that whole creative visualization thing, right? We talked about creative visualization, and how, yes, that creative visualization is the start. It's the beginning. It's good to have that at the very beginning, but we need more than creative visualization. We need to be able to, kind of like Liza said, scare ourselves into action. I mean, whatever it takes to make you get into action and actually follow through, then we need to move past the creative visualization into mental contrasting. Think about the reality. Okay, let's just use me for example. Maybe I'm like, okay, I'm kind of lazy. I don't feel like studying today. That's the reality. But then I go back to my creative visualization and think about how I want to be in California, how I want to walk that stage, And then I come back to reality again and say, okay, if I want to do that, I need to get to the books right now and stop being lazy. And then all those things start to happen. So it's this going of back and forth of the reality and the dream that really puts things into action. I think all of us have met somebody who usually just live in the dream, right? One day I'm going to make it big and be a billionaire. But are they doing anything? No, usually they're just waiting for somebody to hand it to them, or they're just waiting for it to happen. And we all know it just doesn't happen like that. Maybe if you're lucky, somebody will leave you all their billions, but I mean, come on, how often does that happen? So this whole mental contrasting thing is what really has helped people follow through, is to be able to see the dream, reality, back to the dream, back to reality, and into action.
Perfect. All right, Megan, I'll let you continue.
Okay, so this quote right here is just to wrap it up, and it says, the greatest achievement was at first and for a time a dream. We just talked about that, right? The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of reality. And I know all the people out there who love to dream are kind of like, man, Megan, geez, you just kind of like crushed our dreams. But this quote really ties it up for me. Dreams are just the seedlings of realities. It all starts with the dream and the seedlings, but there's so much that it takes to get you to follow through. And so the easy part is the dreaming. We can dream all day, but we also need to take into consideration all the hard work it's going to take to get to that dream. People who think about the hard work, the obstacles, and plan for those things are 10 times more likely to actually reach their goals. So keep that in mind as you're envisioning California. This next slide goes to show us that as you are reaching those goals, there's rewards, monetary rewards waiting for you at the end of those goals. And the higher you go in your education, the more likely you are to receive that monetary reward. And so not one size fits all when it comes to education. You can do online or you can do in the classroom, but know that whichever one you do, you are definitely moving towards your goals to receiving that monetary reward. Now, here at the City of Corpus Christi, we do have education assistance programs, and a lot of these things that are listed here are things that we have talked to you about time and time again every Friday, but we want to just reiterate it and make sure we ingrain it in your head that there are free education options out there. If you go to some of these big hitter names as far as university goes, they're offering free courses. Every now and then you can get onto our website and our Facebook and visit with us via Zoom or WebEx, and know that we are giving away free education, free sessions, and things that you can always count as continuing education credits. Now, number 2 says saving money is an option for paying for your education. And that is definitely one thing I can say that has helped me a lot so far. And thank you to quarantine for helping me do this, because I don't know that I would have been able to save as much had I not been in quarantine, and as well as participating in our financial wellness program at the city. So saving money is definitely an option for paying for your education. Loans are always an option. Grants, of course, when you do your FAFSA, you have the opportunity to qualify for grants, scholarships, and tuition reimbursement, which is one thing we really like to talk to you guys about when it comes to city benefits. Every city employee gets the opportunity to participate with our tuition reimbursement program. You can also qualify for tuition discounts with any of our educational partners. We have a variety of educational partners, and it's just building and building and building, right, Liza? I think we're about to onboard University of Phoenix here in a little while as an educational partner.
Megan, oh my goodness, let me tell you, I'm so excited because I think we're just one signature away, right? It's literally just so close, but we can pretty much say it's a done deal. So University of Phoenix is going to be joining the family of city champions, and they have a great opportunity for you, and we can't wait to share that. Maybe at the next session we'll be able to share that.
Yes, we're hoping to be sharing those tuition discounts here with you pretty soon when it comes to University of Phoenix.
Yes.
And then work study. Work study is always a great way to be able to get your college education and work at the same time. Usually they're a lot more flexible with your schedule and more understanding, fellowships, and many other options. So we always like to talk about the FAFSA and make sure that everybody knows that they should be applying for the FAFSA, regardless of whatever income you think you have or don't have. Make sure that you put it in because it's always a great backup plan. And then also we like to point out FastWeb scholarships that are niche fitted for you specifically. So Liza always likes to say that they're specified to your niche. So let's say you're Hispanic, you're a female, and you work in the public sector. There's probably a scholarship that fits all those specifications. And it's likely, Liza can tell you this because she used to work at the university, that only a few people have applied for it. So here you are thinking, oh, hundreds and thousands of people have applied. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to get that money. Little do you know, it's likely that probably only a handful of people have applied, and that really ups your chances. And then we want to mention that the employee benefits with the city of Corpus Christi are endless. We want to talk about this $2,000 per year tuition reimbursement. We have this reimbursement program. I always like to tell people, yes, it is a reimbursement program. You pay for the classes up front, then we reimburse you based on your grade. But that's $2,000 per year that you're leaving on the table. And we always like to say at the Learning Institute that who doesn't like a $2,000 raise? And if you're not using this $2,000, you're saying no to your $2,000 raise. So make sure that you plug in with us at the Learning Institute and find out more about how you can benefit from the tuition reimbursement program at the city. Now, this slide right here is a very interesting one because there is, again, money on the table. And this is the 2020 CARES Act funds distribution slide, I guess you could say. Each state has been given a certain amount of CARES Act funding. And I know because I went to go ask my own university. So it just really depends if the college is for profit or not for profit, but it's worth asking. You have to have the ask. Otherwise you will never know. And again, you could be leaving money on the table. So if you're attending any university currently, make sure you go ask somebody at your university who would know, somebody probably at the registrar or financial aid, somebody who deals with finances, whether they received CARES Act money and whether you qualify for that money or not. Now, to the moment we have all been waiting for, Miss Maggie Cano. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Miss Maggie, we're so excited to have you. And as
Hi there, how are you?
Good, good. I'm going to tell everybody about how awesome you are. So,
oh, okay, thank you.
Miss Maggie Cano is a Corpus Christi transplant hailing from the small historic town of Uvalde, Texas. She has dedicated over 20 years of service to higher education, especially helping students in the Coastal Bend and East Texas regions. These days, you can find Maggie working with undergraduate and graduate level students at Texas A&M Corpus Christi University. Maggie has had the rare opportunity to begin working with upward bound students and transferring to direct undergraduate and graduate recruitment teams. She recognizes how vital her role is in helping students achieving their academic dreams. And as a first-generation college student, Maggie knows how important it is to make admission and financial aid information accessible to students and parents alike. Please help me in welcoming Miss Maggie Cano. Woo!
Yay!
I'm sure everybody's virtual screaming right now.
Yes. I agree with you about Friday and being able to talk to people and see people. I'm such a people person that I'm one of those that's like, can I go back and be in my real world again? I need to talk. I need to hug. I need to do all of those things. So anytime I can see new faces and I can visit with people, I'm ready for it anytime.
Well, Maggie, we're just so excited that you accepted the invitation to be here. But we all know that you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our most amazing Miss Margaret Deckand, who
Of course.
invited me to be here. So we just want to give a shout out to Margaret Deckent, who is our city champion, our own personal city champion at A&M Corpus Christi. And she continues to pour into our program, and we appreciate her so much. But
Margaret is champion of everything.
She is. And
we love her to death.
Yeah. And I want to let you know, Maggie, that, sharing the information you're going to share about the undergraduate programs at A&M is going to be critical for our employees, because we have a lot of employees who want to come to the island. So I'm looking forward to you sharing. And I know people know how much pride I have at the island. And so if you join the island, you're joining a family, right? You're joining a family.
Exactly.
To support you.
Exactly.
So
That's one of the things when we talk to people, and especially even like when we're hiring people, they're always talking about, okay, what is the office like, or what, do y'all get along? And I've worked at several schools in different places, and this is definitely family. I mean, during work, outside of work, we are taking care of each other. We laughed the other day because we said that we can talk about each other. We're just like a family. We can, dig at each other, and we can bring up things, but don't let anybody out from the outside do that, because we're all, the claws are out. We're gonna, we're gonna defend each other. Exactly. I can make fun of you, but nobody else better make fun of you, or or do something. So definitely, we talk to each other all the time. It's just a family. It's great. And then with our students, I work with a great group of people that that's what they want to do. They get real upset if they have to disappoint a student for something that's completely out of their hands, or that they can't have any control over. They get real. They take it personal, because they really create a bond with the students and the families too, not just the student.
Yeah, and I can tell you firsthand, I felt that. So this is a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the presentation so you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, great. And my presentation today, I'd like to talk, so I'm going to use some talking points, and then we're going to get going. Following Megan, I think, is amazing. She, led right into what I'm going to be talking about. So thank you, Megan, for the great intro, and then giving some information that I'm definitely going to touch on also. All right, can y'all see it? Look. Hi there, are you out there?
Yes, we're here, and we can see your screen, and it looks great.
Okay, so I clicked over to that first slide. So just like Megan said, now that you guys got so excited about wanting to move to that next step and wanting to get the degree, and today I'm even going to talk about transfer students, undergrad students, grad students. I know within the city there's a lot of different levels of people that may already have the bachelor's. They want to go to the next level. They maybe have an associate's degree. They want to get the bachelor. So we cater to all, and we have something for all. So that's what some of the things that I'm going to touch on today that I want to talk about. But first, because I know y'all have had presentations before, and everybody talks about who is Tamucc, or what is Tamucc, what we are. So I'm going to give you some of the just basic information if you haven't been on a presentation before about who we are. So we are located here in the beautiful city of Corpus Christi, Texas. We are on our own island that we love to market, and we love to tell people about, because we feel that it's important to know that we really are a very unique space that we take and that we have here in Corpus Christi. So we are at about 12,000 students that, will vary by semester sometimes, but that's about what we do. So we have students that are online. We have students that are in person. We have students that have never been to school before. We have students that they're career students that have always been with us. So we have students from all walks of life. We have international students. We have students from all across the country. So we are a very diverse campus. If you look around our campus, it's you're not going to see just one kind of student. You're going to see all kinds of students. And so that's what makes it so great and makes it easy to sell, because people can feel at home, because there's always somebody that looks like them, talks like them, has lived maybe where they live. So that's one of the things that we boast about our university, is how diverse it is. We are the Islanders. What better when everybody wants to go relax and everybody wants to be in a special place and a happy place? It's on an island. So you can come to the island, become an Islander. It's casual. I've never worked at a campus that it's so casual. Even faculty members and even administration, pretty casual. to walk around. You just feel like you're in heaven. And, you know, every once in a while you go to class, things like that. But for the most part, you're in heaven when you're on campus. It's a gorgeous campus. So if you've never been on our campus, highly recommend coming in. A lot of people especially the locals. I'm not a local, like my bio said, but my husband is a local. And there's a lot of things in Corpus that he just has never been to. And moving here, that was the first thing I did. So a lot of people have just never come to the campus. They think, oh, it's too far, or there's no reason for me to go. But there's beautiful spaces there to just go and view and walk around. So it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. We were founded in 1947. So we've been around a while, but definitely we're still pretty new. And I think if you can see where we started in 1947 and where we are today, we are made some huge accomplishments and met some huge accomplishments about it. So again, it's fairly new school, but definitely are moving quickly, very quickly. We do have 7 academic colleges, and I'm going to list those on the next slide here in a little bit. So we have something for everybody. A lot of people think that we're just a marine biology school because they hear about us on on Shark Week, or they hear about us in different areas, but we're so much more. We have business classes, we have education, we have criminal justice, we have nursing. That's a big one on our campus. So it's sometimes we have to tell people that don't know much about the university that we're not just marine biology. Great program, that is what we are known for, but that's definitely not all we have. So let me share some other information with you.
And Maggie, before you do that, we do have somebody who wanted to ask a question to you.
Sure.
So we have Belinda Sosa, and she's asking, is Dr. Hill still the representative for A&M at Del Mar College for weekly visits?
Okay, that's a good question. No, she's still on campus, but she is not she's one of the individuals you can reach. So hi, Belinda. I just wanted to give you, within the presentation, I'm going to give you some individual that I feel you depending on what you're looking for at the university. We do have a transfer recruiter. Her name is Lloyda Utley that is doing some of those visits. So definitely want to, within the presentation, I'll share some other information that will, some contact information that you can use to contact people. So is that okay if we continue, and then we'll answer that question as we go along?
Yes, keep going.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. But by the way, awesome person, Dr. Hill. It's right there with Margaret Decken. So great individuals. All right. So why do people go to college? We talked earlier about, goals and whether you should post them or not. And I'm always on the fence about that. I think I'm kind of 50-50 on how much you should put out there. I think you should put something out, but I definitely think people sometimes overshare things and it could come back and bite you. So that's my 2 cents on what goes on with social media and sharing. But why do people go to college? At different times in their life, sometimes they're just starting to build a resume. They're freshmen, they're right out of high school. They know they want a career. Sometimes they don't know what the job is, but they know that they need to go to that next level. So it's just natural. It's just, that's what's going to happen next. You're going to go to high school and then you're going to go to college. So you have that student, which we would call our freshmen, our first-time freshmen. Career advancement. So if you're working for the city, you've been working for the city for a while, you have a bachelor's degree, let's say, but if you want to go that next level, you need to get a master's degree in order to be able to move to that next level. So sometimes it's for career advancement. Sometimes students will say, well, I just want to come back because I want to get this degree because there's a promotion coming up or there's an opportunity for me to grow and I want to make sure I have it under my belt. My husband is one of those individuals. He didn't think he needed it. He was in a job that he felt like he was comfortable. He was moving up. Went ahead and got his bachelor's degree just to get it because he thought, well, you never know. And he was able to get it online. And sure enough, about a year after, an opportunity came around that if he didn't have that degree, he would not have qualified to take the position. So you just never know. It's always just kind of put it at the back. If you feel like I'm okay right now, I don't really need to change careers. I love what I do right now, but it's always good for just putting it in the back pocket. The change in workforce opportunities. I think this is a big one. A lot of people, they say, from 5 years from now, the jobs that exist today will not exist then. And then a whole new field of jobs. So I think if we look at this pandemic, 5 years ago, I think if you thought of owning a company that made plexiglass, you probably thought, oh yeah, we're going to use it a lot. but never realize how much money you could make if you had a plexiglass business right now during these times. So workforce is always changing. It's always evolving. So you always want to stay up to date with what it is that you are doing. So if you have been in something for a while, you always want to try to take that next step, maybe do some classes to help you, maybe with technology, anything that might get you to that next level. So if something does change, you're ready to go and you can just switch on over to whatever position it is that they need you to fill. And then just discover something new. A lot, we get this with our freshmen. They come in, they say they want to they have their mind on a career because that's what maybe mom or dad did, or maybe one of their friends' parents do. But and then when they get on campus, they realize that there's so many other careers that they never even knew existed, or other dreams. They hear about dreams of other people that they have, that they want to become they want to pursue a certain career. And they're like, wow, I never realized that existed. I'd love to do that. So sometimes just discovering something new, whether you're a freshman, whether you have been in a job for a long time and you want to kind of move forward, or you want to change things up a little bit, you want to maybe relocate to a different area, and in that area there's a certain kind of workforce that you need to be aware of. So there's all these different reasons, but it doesn't matter what the reason is. A&M Corpus has the opportunities for you to take care of all of those things, no matter where you are in your life, whether you're a freshman, whether you haven't been to school in 20 years, whether you just want to take some classes just to better yourself a little bit. We have opportunities for everybody. So that's why being right here in your backyard makes it really simple, and we make it easy with flexible schedules, whether it's online or in person or in the evening, for those of you that work all day. So we have lots of opportunities that we can offer. All right. Okay. So, but I want to talk about kind of what I do within the campus and what my team does on campus, because I think it's important that you talked about, if you are interested and you're ready to take that next step, it's always nice to have somebody on campus or a group of people on campus that can help you. So the recruitment team is individuals who help guide you through the college admission process. We have recruiters. We have people that their job is to walk you through the process, help guide you, tell you this is your next step, tell you this is what the program that you're looking at, this is what you're going to, what kind of careers you can get in it. So we have individuals that is their job. And so they are very passionate about it. They want to get you the information. And usually these people are, provide the best customer service you've ever had, because that's just what they do. They're very caring. They're very passionate. So they are going to be, and so that's what my team consists of, individuals who help guide you that. We also have dedicated staff who process critical and official documents needed to be admitted to the university. So once you decide you want to do that, we have dedicated staff that are going to work with you to make sure you need to get in the correct transcripts, if you need to get test scores in, if you need to complete the application, kind of walk you through that process. So the recruiters and then the admissions staff, they work together to make sure that all of these things are coming in. We have lots of times where students like, I'm having trouble getting a transcript from the school that I attended, 15 years ago. We will get on the phone with the school. We'll try to get that, try to see what's going on, what's happening with it, so that we can help the students. So they are, these processors, they take a lot of pride in what they do, and they want to make sure that they help you get all the information. Then once it's received, they want to process it. They want to make sure they upload your transcripts to make sure that all the information from the schools, if there's classes that you've taken, they want to make sure you receive credit for it. So it's a dedicated staff that really works with individuals and works with the recruiters to help the person that's wanting to come to school. So we serve as liaisons. Sometimes we are really, we have to know about housing. We have to know about the meal plan. We need to know about financial aid. We need to know about orientation. So we are just that liaison between the student as to all the different services on campus, even to faculty. We work a lot with faculty who share that same passion. And so when we meet a student that's really wanting to come to the campus and study something, we're going to connect them with faculty. We want to make sure that they really get what it is that the program consists of. So we're that liaison. We're kind of just that person that's going to connect people, connect groups, connect departments. So I like to call us personal assistants. We're going to help you walk through it. We're going to have little reminders. We're going to provide you checklists. Or we're going to do all of those things that as a busy, if you're working full time, you need to be reminded sometimes, hey, this document needs to be turned in. Or maybe, if you want to come to campus, I can secure a spot for you within our tours. So it's just that personal assistant to keep you on track when you're going through this whole process. Okay, so who does the recruitment team, what does it look like? And what do they do? So they assist with booking tours. We have an individual, and he works with several different people. We have an individual that all they do is they create opportunities for you to come to campus. They create events. He creates, his name is Rini Zamora, and some of y'all might know him. Everybody knows Rini Zamora, but I'm sure somebody on this call will say, oh, I know him. He's usually the face of the university. He runs our Welcome Center. And he is the person that is responsible for all of our events that happen as far as new students, and then also booking all the tours that we provide. Of course, right now we're doing self-guided tours just because of the pandemic, but he is one of those individuals that customer service is, if you ask anybody, he's going to take care of you from the beginning to the end. He's going to make sure you have the best experience on our campus. Going to make sure that any event that we have, that you're going to walk away saying, this was awesome. He prides himself with that. So we have somebody that does that. He has a team of students and himself that take care of that. They take care of our Islander Welcome Center. So when you come to campus, we have a space that you come in and we welcome you, kind of like our living room when you first walk in. We welcome you. We get you something to drink. We, ask any questions. Right now, we hand you some hand sanitizer, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable when you arrive on campus. But we also have recruiters not only here locally. We have them in Austin, San Antonio, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Rio Grande Valley area, Houston, and then, of course, we have local recruiters. So in Austin, we have Dustin, who has been working with us for many, many years, and he covers our Austin and kind of Central Texas. We have an individual that's going to be working in San Antonio. We just did a new hire, so he's going to be coming in. His name is Kevin. We also have a very seasoned recruiter that comes in from Dallas, or that lives in Dallas. Her name is Danette, and she's been with the university several years, and so she works out of the Dallas area. We also have a Rio Grande Valley recruiter. His name is Santos Pagan. He has started working for us about a year ago, and so he has been covering the Rio Grande Valley area. And then he also covers he's kind of half and half. He shares the Coastal Bend area with another recruiter. We also have somebody in Houston. We actually just started that individual this week. We had somebody for a really long time, and then they recently left us. And now we have an individual in Houston. His name is Keith, and he's dynamic. And so what I'm saying is that no matter where you're at, we have people. You can contact us via email or phone or anything like that. We also have somebody that will meet with you one-on-one if you need to. If you want to meet at a Starbucks, or you want to meet at a Barnes & Noble, or a local cafe, we have individuals that will do that. So we're always willing to drink some coffee with you, or whatever it is that we want to drink that afternoon. So we also have a transfer recruiter. So for those individuals that maybe they have an associate's degree, or they have some classes under their belt, they want to continue with the bachelor's degree. Lloyda Utley, I mentioned about her. She is, again, another dynamic individual who I have to get after, because she'll talk to people from 7 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, because she just wants to help them and she doesn't want to stop. And so I have to remind her that she does have to have a life outside of work, but she is amazing. She will take care of you. She'll walk you through the process. She'll tell you what classes she'll look at transcripts. She'll work with the school to make sure that any credit that you should receive is received. So she's really great. She's been with us about a year now, and she's really dynamic. Like I said, she's everybody on the team is, but everybody just has that little niche that they have, and hers is transfer. She knows transfer inside and out. We also have a recruiter that works with graduate students. So we have somebody that, just like Lloyda, his name is Robert Benavides. He works with students. He is a current graduate student on our campus right now. So he's living the process right now. He had to apply, and he had to turn in transcripts, do all of those things to apply for grad school. He had to go and meet the faculty member for an appointment and a meeting with them. So he can walk you through it because he's living it right now, and he's done it before. So we have somebody, just like we do with all the other areas, that just specialize in graduate students. So if you're looking at a master's degree or a PhD, he's going to be able to walk you through that. He can connect you with a faculty member if you need to, if you want to find out more about the program. We also, for grad students, we offer a personalized campus tour, at least whenever we're back to campus and we can provide it. We provide personal tours that we set up a meeting with you with faculty, and then we also do one-on-one tour with you with some of the other resources that are available on campus. So we are a big group, and we all, like I said, we're a big family. So we're always helping each other to make sure that we can help students the best as possible. So you, Megan, you talked a little bit about financial aid, and I want to mention them because we work we work closely with them. And one of the things that you said earlier, Megan, that I thought was great is that you need to apply no matter what. I know I get tons of students that will say, no, I know we're not going to qualify. My parents said I don't need to apply. One big thing is it's required for some scholarships. Some scholarships, even if you don't qualify for some of the grants available, you have to have a financial aid application on file in order to qualify for some scholarship. So I always tell students, it can't hurt you. Go ahead and apply. If for some reason something happens that you do need to maybe take out a loan, or you need to see about getting some grant money because your circumstances at home have changed, maybe your income has changed, it's already in there. And you don't have to go through the process of applying and waiting for it to be processed. It's out there. And if we need it, we'll use it. If we never need it, great. But at least you know it's there. It's available to help offset college expenses. And I'm not going to lie, college is expensive. There's a lot of things that come with attending. So they are going to, I work with Miss Jeannie Gage, who is the Director of Financial Aid at Texas A&M University-Corpus Christi. And she is always looking to help any student that we can. I can get on the phone, say, look, we've got an individual. And if they qualify and if they have need, she's going to check to see what she can do to help the student to not have to drop out of classes, or to help pay some expenses that education expenses that we didn't realize she was going to have. So we work very closely with them. We meet constantly with the financial aid staff to make sure that we are all working together to help the student. They often travel with us so that they can also give financial aid information when we're giving admissions information. So we work very closely for students that say, hey, well, I have some questions for financial aid. Maybe I can't get a hold of somebody. I'm not sure who to call. We can, again, be that liaison to financial aid. So these individuals are trained. They are trained in what exactly your options are, and they'll tell you, they'll be honest with you, they'll be transparent with you about what they can and can't do. They'll give you maybe some tips and that you might be able to use to be able maybe for the next time to qualify. It just depends on what they take each student individually, and they work with them. Like I mentioned, financial aid includes grants and loans. So a lot of people say, well, I don't need a grant. But I need a loan. So do I do a different application? Nope, you still do the FAFSA. FAFSA will cover, we'll look at grants. It'll look to see if you qualify for loans. And again, it may be a requirement for scholarships. So very important. I always want to throw out financial aid. People think it's a misconception that you don't have to apply because you think you don't qualify. You definitely want to. Right now with like the CARES Act, students that didn't apply for financial aid, if they needed the CARES Act, in some cases, they had to apply in order to receive it. So I said, you just never know when you might need it. So it's best to take advantage of it and go ahead and submit it. It's not going to hurt you. Do we have any other questions so far? I'm going to start sharing some contact information. And then if you can see on the screen, if you're an undergrad student or a transfer student, that's the number that you want to call, the 361-825-8687. If you're a grad student, if you want to speak directly with Robert, his number is 361-825-2377. You can also reach him via email. So you can send any kind of questions you have through the email. And then the third link is our link to some of our virtual events. So as you know, a lot of our events have had to go virtual. So we have already started planning. We have a semester of events planned for this fall semester. We know we're going to more than likely have to be visiting with people online. So we are going to have lots of opportunities for people to still be one-on-one. We're just going to be one-on-one through a computer. So I know that. We've been working the last few months to make sure that if we do come and we can meet in person, we will. But if not, we're still going to give individuals an opportunity and some options to be able to meet with us. So that's the tour.tamucc.edu link. That will give you a lot of the virtual information that we have, that you can see what we're going to be having coming up, and also how to contact us individually. So if you're from a certain area, if you're from the Coastal Bend, or if you know people that are from outside, if you're working, you have a cousin or you have a family or you have a friend that is from the Houston area, that page will give you contact information for those individuals to reach out. You can also make one-on-one meetings, called bookings is what we do. And we make sure we take care of that and take care of you to make sure that you are talking to the right individual. Right.
Wow, Maggie.
And that's me. That's how to reach me. I will help you anytime, any day. I move around a lot. I'm not always at my desk. So if you don't reach me on my phone, You can always reach me by email. And then I also included the main webpage link so that if you wanted to go check us out, we'd love to have you. And like I said, that's what we're there. We're your personal assistants. We're going to help you reach that dream that you put on your Facebook page. Then just figured out you're not sure how you're going to do it. You need to come see us so that we can prove all those Facebook people wrong, right or wrong, depending on which one you're doing.
Fantastic. Maggie, you did an amazing job. I mean, I think I learned things that I didn't even know. I didn't know we had 7 colleges now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so Megan, before we move into the questions that are in our comments, because we do have questions in our comments, do you have any questions? Because I saw you kind of jotting stuff down. You got your little notepad. Go ahead, Megan.
Not necessarily a question, but I really, really loved how Miss Maggie pointed out the fact that sometimes that jobs that existed before or even now may not be as relevant in the future, or your knowledge from when you got your degree may not be relevant from then as it is to now. So a lot of IT people experience this. They may have gotten their IT degree 20 years ago. Is technology the same 20 years ago as it is today? No, it's not. But Miss Maggie pointed the fact out that, you know, they have things that can help you stay relevant. So maybe you're not pursuing a formal degree. They have courses that you can probably take to stay up to date. And I just love so much how she mentioned that staying up to date in your field, in your industry is very important.
Fantastic. And I just put it, I had to put it in there. I put a banner on the bottom that talks about the future of work. And Megan knows we're all about that. We're all about helping you see your job and see your career 5, 10, 15 years from now. You should not be thinking about today. You should be thinking about what's my life going to be like 5 years from now and start preparing for that. And that is why we say learn like a champion. A champion prepares themselves for the future. So, Megan, I'm going to go ahead and just move swiftly into the questions we have in our comments area. So one of the questions was actually contact information. So I think Belinda wanted to know about Miss Utley's email address. So is that something that maybe you know off the top of your head? Or
I do.
Okay.
Her email address is Lloyda, Loida, .Utley, Utley, at tamucc.edu.
And that's Loida.
Utley, Utley, at tamucc.edu.
Perfect. And I have it right there on the screen, so she can just start receiving a bunch of emails. Thank you so much, Belinda, for that question. And then we have another question from our very own city champion, Iranda Chavez. And she asks that my son is completing his first year at Del Mar. When is the best time for him to have his degree reviewed by A&M Corpus Christi? And just as a point of information, his degree is in digital media communications.
Okay. So we currently have a degree in communications. So what I recommend is, depending on what the plan is for the family, if you plan to stay at Del Mar and finish up there, get an associate's degree, then you can apply a year. You can apply for admissions at A&M Corpus up to a year before. It opens in the summer. Like our fall 2021 application was open as of July 1st, I think. So, so you kind of get the timeline. You can always apply and then send whatever transcripts from Del Mar and see what classes have already been taken. So maybe he's ready to go. He doesn't want to wait to get the associate's degree. He wants to switch over. He can apply anytime and for the next semester. And then once he gets the transcripts from Del Mar, then he will visit with an advisor who will then break it down for him and say, okay, this is the degree you're interested in, or which degree are you looking at? And then we can break it down for you and see where you stand. They do have to be admitted before the advisor will look at it. But Miss Utley or any of the freshman recruiters, they can, if he's going to be a transfer student, it would probably be Miss Utley, but she can look at it and just kind of gauge it a little bit to see where he stands. It just depends on when he's ready to come over. If he's ready now, we'd love to have him. If he wants to finish up at Del Mar, we have lots of students that do that too. So we can work with either one.
I love how you said that. If he's ready now, he doesn't have to
now.
So
I got to put the plug in there. We come over now. It's the best time.
Fantastic. Awesome. And I don't see that we have any other questions on the chat. And I personally don't have any questions, but I do want to make a comment that I know that we didn't go over the specific degree programs that are available at the university, but it just seems that there's a fit for everybody. So,
okay. And I didn't want to bog down with,
yes,
okay, we have this. I wanted to just let you know we're here for you. That's
yes,
my point that I want to leave with today.
exactly.
Regardless of where you are in the process, regardless if you're just thinking about it, we are here for you, and we're going to provide you that information, and we can provide it to you one-on-one, so that whatever it is that you're needing, we can share it with you.
Fantastic. And the other thing I want to point out for our city champions out there who are city employees, you need to know that there's no restriction to the degree that you decide to study at A&M Corpus Christi or any other university you decide to attend. So just make sure that you take your career into your hands and you make sure that you're moving at the direction that you want to move into, and be a champion of your life, right? So we provide these opportunities for you to really, truly enjoy the work you're doing. And if it means that you want to start thinking about other things, then we encourage you to do that, because you'll only be as productive as you feel. And if you feel productive, then you're going to do amazing work for us as a city champion. So Maggie, I'm going to go ahead and show the university's URL, because I think that's the best way for people to find out more about the university. So just to close things off, I want to let you all know that we're excited you visited this session. If you have any questions for Maggie, or if you have any, inquiries about A&M Corpus Christi, you're going to go to www.tamucc.edu. And we want to thank you so much, Maggie, for joining us today. And we welcome you back. We know that there's multiple opportunities for our undergraduates for people who want to pursue a bachelor's degree. So we may be calling on you to come in and talk about specific items or specific events going on. I know with our pandemic right now, you've probably slowed down on things like Island Day and all the tours you were talking about.
Oh, we're still having them all. We're just having them virtually. So Island Day is still going to happen. As a matter of fact, we have one scheduled. We have an event scheduled tomorrow online. So yeah, we're still having events. You're just doing it from the comfort of your home, but we've made it creative. We've made it, we work with we have a system to be able to do that and still provide you a lot of information without you having to be on campus.
Fantastic. So in my mind, I see somebody walking around on Facebook Live with their camera, viewing it. Is that what y'all are going to do?
Kind of. We've got some pre-recorded things that we can work with. There's a lot of chats that we do where people can, like we are right now. We have those every day from 2 to 5. We have our chats. So anybody, we have prospective students, we have undergrad students, we have financial aid, we have housing, we have grad students, transfer students. We have chats for everybody. So every day from 2 to 5. We won't have it today because I believe the campus is closing early because of the storm. But other than that, we're available every day, and we're about any time, but with chat from 2 to 5.
Fantastic. Okay, so it sounds like we may be able to do a virtual tour of Island Days, a minimized version right here, especially.
I'll get with our assistant director, Rini, and he's amazing online and even in person. So he would love to do that. He loves to talk too. He's just
then I guess Megan, tag you're it. Let's get Rini on here. Let's start doing that. Okay, so thank you so much. And Miss Maggie, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you for having me. It was great.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. And Megan, wasn't that amazing?
It was. Today was good.
I know. Okay, so talk about wanting to do a virtual tour now of the experience. I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to be doing. I think she said they're going to be doing one tomorrow. So I'm going to be watching my feed to see if I am able to find it. But I think it's important to know that even through this COVID situation, through our pandemic, that things have not slowed down, that people are still continuing to do things. And I know a lot of people say, I have to stay home. It's like, no, you get to stay home and you still continue to live your life. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that things have not slowed down.
Yeah, and I think people are getting really creative. Tamucc CC apparently has it figured out, and they know exactly what they're doing. And I know when it comes to some of our programs, we're considering doing kind of like what you said, getting a camera and taking that tour virtually with people live online. And even Lloyda, she's throwing out the ideas there. She's saying you should go live with a GoPro and do a virtual tour that way. And
that would be fun. Oh
yeah.
My goodness. Like just literally just me walking around, right? Let me tour you my office right now. No, kidding.
And I think that's what it's all about, right? Is just being creative and finding alternative ways, because we don't want to slow down. We want to make sure that we're still having the full experience, just in a different way.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some shout outs out there. So we have let me get rid of that banner. I still had a banner on there, so I'm not being able to show comments. But we had some shout outs from Sarida. Sarida, thank you for being a champion for us at this session today. Thank you for the amazing insight that we provided. You are most welcome. We always appreciate the gratitude that we get. We have Belinda, who is also giving us some gratitude, Megan. She says, thank you for all the information and our contagious energy through the interwebs. Can we give her some virtual high fives? Belinda, you're awesome. If there's music playing, you can just dance to it right now. And then Sarada's like, glad you came. And of course, we have some fist bumps and some love. We appreciate you too, if I can put my love out there. And for those of y'all who have tuned in and maybe just entered the room right now, because I see that we have more views right now than we had previously, we want to welcome you and we want to thank you so much for joining us. We host these sessions every Friday at 10 a.m. So set your alarm or get on Facebook and make sure you have it as an event that you want to be notified about. Every Friday at 10 a.m. We're right here to answer any questions you have and to bring you some amazing guests to share information for you about how you can be a champion in our city, learn like a champion in a city, and be the future that you want for the city of Corpus Christi. So without any further ado, Megan, I think we're going to end it unless you have something to add.
No, I just thank you for the shout outs and thank you guys for tuning in, because this is how we learn, right? The back and forth is where we learn. That conversation and having the comments and us being live is how we learn. Social learning theory is a real thing, and we're appreciative of all of you who tune in, and we cannot wait to learn more together.
It's social learning theory is important, and also I call it cellular learning. You know, you learn better when your cells are connected, right? And as humans, that's what we're always seeking, right? That feeling of connection. So thank you so much for connecting with us so that you can learn to be a champion. And we'll see you next. Megan was praying that you join us next week. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.